Okay, we're going back to tightening the plate on the back of the secondary variator. I use you see me using the impact, but I have it on low pressure. I just snug it, but I do the tightening with a hand ratchet. That's so I don't over torque them. Okay, so you tighten the bolts up and you'll see. Now you have to try to tighten up that bolt, but there's something that you have to do, which again, I'm going to let you see that what you have to do. That flange there for this nut won't allow the nut to go and tighten the bolt. So I'm going to have to take that flange back off so I can tighten the nut because the inner diameter of the flange is too small for the big socket to go through. So off it comes. Then the flange goes back on. All right. Now that you have everything secure, you can take all of the tie straps off now, because the links that's in that belt are not going to fall out because everything is tight. Nothing's going to fall out the back half of the case. Now the next step is we're going to have to put the covers on um, the back half. And there's O-rings here. What you want to do is make sure the O-rings are not damaged. As these O-rings, if you're doing a repair, you can reuse the O-rings. That small O-ring I just put down there, don't forget that one. We took it out, remember? in the last video so it didn't fall out. Put some transmission lube, or you can use Vaseline to make sure it stays in the groove. And you take the O-ring off of the part behind the secondary variator and check it, make sure everything is okay, is not damaged, and you put that O-ring in the groove also. So it's two O-rings. There's one little in there, and there was another one. Make sure you clean the cover off pretty decent. I wouldn't use a sand disc. A sand disc is rough enough to cut a gouge inside the aluminum. A wire wheel is better because it will buff it. Then you put the bolts in. The bolts are 13 millimeter bolts, as you can see there. Make sure that when you put these together, when you take them apart, you set everything out nice and neatly. I didn't have to do that because I'm familiar with this transmission. If you see, I have two of them broken down in pieces all over the place. Now, if this was a transmission I wasn't familiar with, then I would have set every single piece down in order. And another good thing to do is use your camera, use your cell phone, and take pictures of parts. If you're taking it apart, take a picture of it and save it inside your archive so that you can go back and look at it. Okay, now we have the O-ring that goes behind the primary variator. Make sure it stay there, so put a little Vaseline or Trans-Lube so that it will stick to the cover there, or the case, excuse me. Now you have both covers on. You have the O-rings in. You sanded it down. That's to make sure you don't have any leaks. Now we're about to deal with putting the sun gear on the primary variator. And there's a plastic washer. It could go either way. Set it in. Now what we have is the reverse planetary. This is the part that went bad in this transmission. Okay, and so were the clutches. So we're putting the reverse clutches inside. And now, if you saw, the first one was a wavy plate. Now, what you need to see is on this, the teeth are on the outside, and one tooth is different than the other teeth. Okay, so you put the wavy spring plate down first, then you put the clutches with the teeth on the outside on next. Then you have the other friction, which is the teeth are on the inside, and you set it down. There's a steel side on one side and there is a friction on the other side. So make sure the steel sides go down on top of the friction. Okay. This also has a tooth that's different. So you have to make sure you put that tooth in its proper slot. If not, you'll be wondering how come you can't get it down inside the drum. So you have to find that slot. Now, why did they do this? I don't know. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. They just did it because they wanted to. It's a waste of time. Okay, now this is the pressure plate. You see that square there? On each end of that square, which I will show you, the snap ring is going to begin and end. It's going to end at that part, and then the other part of the snap ring is going to end there. Now make sure you're not putting it on top of that, or it will not go inside the groove. And once again, that pressure plate has teeth on the outside, and it must be in that slot. When you push that pressure plate down, the end of it should go below the groove so that you can get the snap ring inside. If it doesn't, then something is wrong. Make sure that snap ring is inside that groove all the way around, because what would happen when the piston apply against the pressure plate, if that snap ring is not completely in the groove, it will blow out of the groove, and then you will have, again, reverse problems. Now here's a washer. What I do with the washer to make sure it doesn't fall out, is put a little grease on there and then stick it back in its position. Alright, what's next here?
So that is it for this part right now.
Alright, next we have the forward plate here. So we place that down in its position, and it is held together by a snap ring. Now if you remember, when we were disassembling this transmission, all of this had popped out. It was damaged. Alright, now we move on to part 7.